Many people have loads of theories as to who Snoke is, but he could just be Snoke. But if that is the case, then, to be honest, it's not as exciting as I was hoping for. Some people think he might be Darth Bane, who created the Rule of Two, about there being only a master and an apprentice. Some people think that he might be Tenebrae, aka Vitiate, aka Valkorion, aka the Sith Emperor from the Old Republic. Some people think that he might be somebody entirely different, like Palpatine, Darth Vader, or even Mace Windu. But basically, this scene in The Empire Strikes Back, where it shows Luke's face inside Darth Vader's helmet, obviously it's sort of a clue that Darth Vader is his father. But I think it also has a deeper meaning, though, because maybe this symbolises that Luke is going to turn to the dark side. Maybe he's going to become his father. So, I mean, even the fact that Darth Bane was voiced by Mark Hamill, that could be a spoiler for The Last Jedi in itself. Because maybe Luke is a reincarnation of Darth Bane. Maybe that's why they have the same voice. Remember, for those who don't know, SW Theory has posted a recent video on YouTube, and it's about Snoke, and apparently a person has been emailing him with spoilers for The Last Jedi. Now, basically, we don't know whether to believe this person who's been emailing him or not. But he seems to suggest that Snoke is an ancient Sith Lord from the Old Republic, and the introduction of Snoke is supposed to, like, span into a whole new range of Star Wars films set in the Old Republic era. Now, obviously, like, if this is true, then Snoke is an ancient Sith Lord, but also Darth Bane is as well. Does this suggest that Bane and Snoke are the same person? Well, not necessarily, because there were loads of ancient Sith Lords. So, basically, I mean, even like Snoke could be Malak, Revan, he could even be the bloody Outlander. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to remember that Valkorion and the Outlander have both sat on the Eternal Throne. So, like, who knows? This could be the Outlander withered and dying, having sat on the Eternal Throne for more than a millennia. Once he takes out the Last Jedi, meaning Luke and Rey, maybe that will return him to full power. But there is a thing that supports the theory that Snoke could be Tenebrae, and that is that Tenebrae is known as the Dark Lord of many faces. So Snoke could just be another one of his faces. But you've got to notice the resemblance between Snoke's throne and the Eternal Throne there. I mean, obviously there's similarities and differences. Like, you've got to look more at that bottom bit there. But yeah, so here's Luke in all his glory in The Force Awakens. This quote is absolutely key to everything. My life spans millennia. Legions have risen to test me. My ascendance is inevitable. A day, a year, a millennium, it matters not. I hold the patience of stone and the will of stars. Your striving is insignificant. Let your death be the same. So obviously, like, Luke has been striving all of this time. So Snoke could hold the patience of stone, just like Tenebrae. So it would make sense if they were one and the same person. He could have waited loads of time to finally ascend. He could have waited all through the Clone Wars and all through the Galactic Civil War to finally ascend. One of the main reasons that Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, brought balance to the Force is because he experienced the light side and the dark side of the Force. So maybe that's what Luke's got to do as well. Like, maybe Luke is the one that's got to bring balance to the Force now. Maybe after the fall of the Empire and the fall of Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader, maybe, like, the Force was temporarily in balance, but then it went out of balance again. Because there was too much light. So Snoke had to rise up to bring balance back to the Force and bring the darkness again. Because there can't be light without dark. So it's a never-ending battle and a never-ending war. Or wars. Just because the Force is brought into balance once doesn't mean it's brought into balance forever. Right, now we're going to change the subject slightly, and I'm going to say that I want there to be an Action Man movie, and if there was one, I would want Natalie to be in it, and I would want her to be played by Adrienne Palicki. Now, moving on, this is a segment that I like to call characters I want to see in the MCU. So, first of all, it's got to be J. Jonah Jameson. I think that's how you say it. It might be Jameson, actually. But, basically, I thought J.K. Simmons playing him in the Tobey Maguire movies was absolutely phenomenal. So, whoever ends up playing him, if anyone, does, it's going to be hard to top J.K.'s performance. So, the next character is Chameleon. Now, obviously, Chameleon could alter his appearance to look like anyone. Like, almost, well, exactly identical to anyone. So, basically, the same goes for Mysterio. Now, we know that Silver and Black movie's coming out, and people like Kraven the Hunter's going to be in it. But we still have no confirmation whether Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, and Chameleon are going to be in the movie or not. It might be one or the other, or it might be neither. We'll just have to wait and see. But obviously, I would prefer if Mysterio was in it because he's a better character in my opinion. So anyway, moving on. Next character, Firestar. I thought she was phenomenal in the comic version of Age of Ultron. Um, so I was a bit disappointed that she wasn't in the movie version. And well, Firestar is like one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time, anyway. So moving on. Next character, Doc Ock. Um, you can see a running theme here that quite a lot of like of these characters are from Spider-Man. Um, I mean, Firestar was in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, but she was also in X-Men as well because she's obviously a mutant. Um, but anyway, so yeah, like obviously Doc Ock was in Spider-Man 2, but I would love to see an MCU version of him because I just think he's one of those unique, fascinating characters. I mean, who else do you know that has metallic tentacles like that? And finally, we have Green Goblin. Whether it's Norman or Harry, I don't really care. As long as we get an MCU version of Gobby. Um, or even like they haven't even had Hobgoblin in the films yet, so that would be a good thing to say. Well, a good character to say. Um, but yeah, I mean, like obviously it would be good if they actually brought Oscorp into the MCU because they could do like deals with like Stark Industries and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like I know some of you's probably watching this thinking, "Oh, we want them to do like characters that haven't been in the movies before. We don't want them to do characters that they've already done." And I understand that opinion, but to be honest, they should do characters that they've already done, but they should do like what ones that they haven't done as well. And then some of you's probably thinking, "Oh, but the film would be too overcrowded, like Spider-Man 3 was." But I'm sorry, but I just don't understand that opinion because at the end of the day, like the Spider-Man comics and cartoons were overcrowded with villains. So why should the movies be any different? Also, I would like Electro to be in the MCU because I didn't go much on that version of Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I want an Electro that's more like the one from the comics and the cartoons. Also, it would be bloody good if Alistair Smythe and Herbert Landon were in the MCU. But I know what some of you are thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, they can't be in it without Kingpin being in it. Because obviously they've already said that they're not going to have Kingpin in the MCU movies because he's already been in the Netflix like Daredevil series. So basically, my idea would be that Herbert Landon and Alistair Smythe will be working for Oscorp instead, just like Smythe was working for Oscorp in what's it, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So basically, they could be working for either Norman or Harry or both.